Welcome fellow airsoft players and enthusiasts, channel host Marshmallow. And in this series we are going to be tackling the Krytac LMG, more specifically the upgrades that we're going to put into it. This will be a multi-part series, but a great one nonetheless, so stick around. In this step, I'm going to work on the cylinder head, a piston, and piston head. And one of the first things you want to do is, when you get the cylinder, is just to double check that it's going to fit with your gearbox. I've yet to hear of an issue that they hadn't, but to just get a double check, I'm going to put this all together and make sure it will close and fit in there. But yep, that will fit. Put this bad boy down, but we're good to go. So we're all set there. Just that out of the way. Now, for the piston and piston head, one thing to make sure is when you're installing these is for the screw is to put on Loctite. When I did my upgrade on my last AEG, I forgot to do that step the first time, and after not many rounds, I don't know, probably maybe 100, it became very loose. So I had to break it apart for other reasons, but luckily I did because I wouldn't have known. Okay, now for here, there's all these parts that. So for this head here, when I have it broken down to where there's nothing on there, because when it comes on to here, it needs to sit flush, just like that. So all these other parts will be going on here as such, right? Correct, because that spacer there. Okay. Now you can get it from almost any hardware store or Harbor Freight even, but you're going to want some Loctite to put on that screw. Usually doesn't take much, but see how I'm going to do this. This is kind of an odd angle for me. But okay, slid right on down. Okay, about as tight as I'm going to get. Now, depending on the brand, Loctite, and everything, it can vary on how long it takes to set. Some are a couple hours, some are 24. So that's all assembled, ready to go. Now for your cylinder and cylinder head. Now before we get into that, if you can hit the subscribe button, hit the like, leave your comments. They're important to me. It helps give me some good feedback on things that I can improve or things that you all liked. So without further ado, let's get right into it. What I like to do is just take a little bit of grease and put it around those O-rings. And again, this grease that I got from the local Harbor Freight. Sometimes you can find them at your different auto repair stores or even just online. This is a multi-purpose synthetic grease. For applying it, some people use Q-tips. I don't like it as much because they break down and they can leave little bits of the, I wouldn't use one. It can leave parts that can make this very bad. Now the grease is going to help both for putting this on and also for seal. Get the second one. Now for to know when you've got this seated where you need, there's this little lip here, and if your cylinder head is not flat with the cylinder, that means you're either too proud, so you need to go in further, or if you went too far in, you need to come back out, because what that sits on, that's where your nozzle will sit as well. So this is all together. It sits right down in here, like so. Okay? So if you have it too far down, it can be a problem. Or if it's too proud, same thing. So that is the assembly of that. I will eventually put some grease on here as well, but for the moment being, because it'll be coming in and out, I'm just going to leave it as is. But I just want to do a quick check to make sure that this is going to fit in here. And it sounds like it's... I'm going to actually grease it a little bit now, because it sounds like those teeth might be grinding in there a little bit. It might just be because of the angle that I'm trying to do it, but I just want to double check. Let's see, no particular way, but I mean, it's a good fit. Definitely is a good fit. I think it's just because of the angle it's dragging down, because there's plenty of space in there, so I'm pretty sure it's just because of how I'm doing that. But I will say that just pushing like that, it definitely feels like a very, very tight seal, so that's encouraging. So anyway, that's the cylinder head, piston and piston head assembly. Alright, so one thing I want to double check before I move further with the gears in the shimmy process is I want to see if the stock Krytec gear will work with this new setup as far as the nozzle, cylinder head, etc. The cylinder nozzle, as you can see, moves forward and back. That's pretty standard, but what I'm concerned about is if this built-in selector chip is going to be out of sort as far as being able to pull it all the way back. So I just got to check that real quick. My gut tells me it'll be fine, but I want to make sure for 100%. So it's right now I've got this fully seated forward. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this so you guys can see. So I'm doing the best I can to kind of hold everything in place to mimic the gearbox being put together, because if it's not the correct angles, it can be misguided. Okay, so right about there it stopped. And the nozzle looks pretty pulled back. I think it's probably what, just a teeny bit? Nope, it's all the way back. So that works good. So I will be going with this stock gears, Krytec, and I will be re-shimming them to the gearbox to make sure that all systems will go there. So I've already done a shimming process before. I will either put a link in the video or at the end of it send it over to there so you can see how the shimming process works if you haven't done it.